Hey YouTube. So we're back at Franklin Street, and the project I picked up about 2 years ago to do a renovation on. We're still here, sort of. We've been gone most of the time. But I'm starting the video down here because of this. Now Nick, go ahead and kind of scan what's going on here. So we have a fairly significant retaining wall. I should say I had a significant retaining wall. What's happened is there's these box elders up here, so large trees, and one over there. And as they grew, their ball, or the root ball grew, it pushed on the top side of the wall. The wall itself was never constructed correctly. So what happened is it snapped the wall and allowed a whole bunch of moisture in. Once that happened, all the steel reinforcement rotted out. And Nick and I were here one day, just cleaning the yard, not doing anything but cleaning the yard and getting prepped to come back. I was standing on that corner over there, and the wall made a funny little noise, and then it started shaking. I jumped off of it, and the whole thing sloughed right off the hillside, which means it went down into our neighbor Steve's house. Luckily, not too much damage there, but as you can see, there's no way to get equipment in here. What we ended up having to do was using a demo saw and a jackhammer, and Nick and I just beat the wall down, put it in manageable chunks, and we created this little goat path down in the Steve's driveway, which he was gracious enough to let us use, and wheelbarrowed every bit of it into the dump trailer. We hauled off 27,000 pounds of concrete off this wall. Now we're just waiting to find out what the solve is. I'm on my second engineer at this point, trying to figure out a solution. We don't know yet, but progress must continue, so let's go up to the house. Okay, so right here, we're neighboring the uphill side of the road. This section here was just full of dirt. It was full right up to here, and then tapers out. And of course the inside of the wall was completely rotted. Someone had repaired the stud work, who knows when, with pressure treated lumber, but they never dressed the outside. So this is all rotted. All the siding has to come off anyway. So we're going to have to resheet this and fix that. We're going to build a little staircase and a little walkway and all that. So underneath here, we had to make some repairs to the subfloor structure, the framing. Not much though. It was a couple ledger boards and she was pretty much good to go. We did replace all the sheathing, and we did put in 2 point loads underneath here, so posts with footers, and so now this floor is super stable and good to go. In the basement here, we've got the septic line that we're sorting out to see what's viable, what's not. I got Roto-Rooter coming out next week. They're going to snake it for me and tell me what condition it's in. And then right behind Nick here, we got the new service panel in. So we got 3 circuits running at this point, lights and circuit or outlets for one for upstairs, one over there, and we got lighting in here. So yes, we have power again. This is great. All this has been cleaned out in the back. There was a significant pile of soil back in here. Someone had done some patchwork in the concrete. I'm not really sure what the story was, but that's all been cleaned out. And as you can see, the floor is a bit wet. And I'll show you what we did to fix that here in a little bit. Yeah. We've gone through and we're reclaiming all the original lumber. We've got some ideas for that. That'll be coming up later on. I'm a big advocate for reduce, recycle, and reuse. So we have a bunch of lumber here that we're just going to repurpose. There was a little roof on this side that we tore off. A lot of the lumber was still good, so we're going to repurpose that into the walkway in the back there. And we've got stuff we've torn off other jobs. We have stuff that's torn off this job. We had a little shed in the back that we dismantled. So we've got a lot of extra lumber, and with the cost of lumber these days, it's an added bonus. So, as you can see, there's something missing. There's no structure. There's nothing. When I first looked at this from underneath, you could see plywood from the inside. And at first I thought, wow, they plywood at the inside of the walls. Great. No. The studs, which would be that, just rotted out. It's all rotted. And it happened because this whole area here is all fill. And so when they brought the fill in, they did one good thing. They put pressure treated plywood here, but they put tar paper over it, and they never did anything to the seams. So what happens there, water gets in behind the pressure treated plywood, and the next thing you know, all your timber is rotted. So this all needs to get jacked up and new wall created and set her back down.
Hi, Buffalo.
Buffalo! And Pocket Rainbow. So, last couple of days, what we did is the soil here was all the way up. And there was a little tree here, ripped that out. Tapered all the soil back away from the house, repaired the foundation wall there, created this little stone wall here. And we did this to get the water under control. So that moisture that you saw in the basement, that's there because the water is coming off that roof, hitting this flat surface, and running back towards the house and going in through the stone foundation and entering the basement. By pitching the soil, we're going to alleviate that from happening. I will put gutters on the house at some point near the end, but if someone doesn't maintain those gutters, they're just going to have the same problem. So now I'm ensuring, hopefully, whoever has this in the future doesn't ever have that moisture problem in the basement. Oh yeah, and that whole corner's rotted out too. Not much has changed in here since the last video, other than a lot of cleaning. We pulled roughly 5,000 pounds of cellulose out of the attic space. For two reasons. One, it was completely compacted. And two, in the years this place has been empty, raccoons took residence. You can imagine what happened there. So, take it all out, send it to the dump, good to go. Yeah, I think that's going to be about it for today. We're going to be here straight through now. We got a couple little odd jobs to take care of here and there, but for the most part, we're going to be here every day for the foreseeable future. So if there's anything you guys want to see more in depth of, or you want to see some of the processes of what we're doing instead of just these update videos, put a comment below, hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you later.